Hey everybody, my name is Rydo, and today we're starting Star Wars The Clone Wars Republic Heroes. So, I meant to play this last year around May the 4th, which is May the 4th be with you, Star Wars Day. A not really legitimate holiday that Star Wars fans follow. This game is quite unique because it's a Games for Windows Live game, so when you first load it, there's this pull down bar that you have to create a offline profile because Games for Windows Live doesn't exist anymore, and you can't play the game until you make an offline profile that's hidden by scrolling down on that first screen and clicking create an offline profile. They try to get you to put in an email, they try to get you to sign up for it, but I mean, it wouldn't work. And then even when you do have that offline profile and you sign in, then the bar just stays there and you have to click the X. I've made a special video that goes into more detail last year about how to get this game to work, but then I had kind of already run out of time to actually play this game. Now, this year, I plan on playing 2 Star Wars games through the collection of Star Wars games. And I'm pretty hyped about this one because I like the animation style and the idea of some new characters being added to the Star Wars mythos. Still haven't gotten around to watching episode 7, and that's saying a lot considering episode like 8 I think has come out now. The Solos side story hasn't come out, and Rogue One has come out. So yeah, I do believe episode 8 has happened, so I clearly haven't watched that either. So in the same way, I would be interested in watching episode 7, but I'm not that big of a Star Wars fan to actually go to the theaters for it. But I hear this cartoon is good, and I'm always happy to see kid-friendly games come out, and I'm hoping that this actually is a kids-friendly game. All my settings from when I last set this up are still here. 1080p with everything turned to the highest, except for VSync, because that doesn't work with recording as much. Subtitles on, brightness left to default. Sound is all here, which to me it sounds a little loud, but we'll leave it alone because it probably won't be that loud. And language, English. And so the databank, I imagine, are going to be just a database explaining things. Several clone troopers from the cartoon that have some backstory, but being a kids game, it's barely a short paragraph of backstory for each character. Also, we're going in circles here, just in case you don't know who these people are. Like Ahsoka Tano, for instance, I've seen her. I saw her in The Force Unleashed, which is more of a mature Star Wars game that I played last year, but I don't know too much about her. Plow Koon, never heard of. Kit Fisto, Aya Sakura, another character we've heard of. Yoda, of course, we've heard of. Look at that animated version of Yoda. Somebody got very bold in drawing that. But Anakin is kind of the same way, where then Obi-Wan Kenobi is pretty simplistic. So you kind of need to know Star Wars, of course, to play a Star Wars game. I can't arguably think that it's the wrong thing to show your children episode 7 or episode 4, 5, and 6, or even episode 1, 2, and 3 before you showed them any spin-off content. Seems we'll be dealing with Darth Sidious and Count Dooku. I didn't know that this was Count Dooku. Like, he gets like a robot body later. So a little backstory on characters, a little backstory on vehicles, a little backstory on ships. I'm more interested in the characters than anything else. So, backstory on weapons, that's rather interesting. I never really thought of Star Wars as being a weapon style game. And then the credits. Good to know, that's all we needed to know. There's two choices, either Padawan or Master. More than likely I could play it on Master since this is a kid's game, but for sanity's sake, and since this might turn out to be one of those old school kids games where it's not done very well and it's difficult, let's just play on easy and create a new save file. What's funny here is I don't have a current save file, which means I never saved when I was testing out this game last year. Fair enough. We can already see, for a game that's pretty old, the cartoony animation style of this cutscene looks perfectly fine. I'm playing this in 2018. If this was a cartoon happening on TV in 2018, I would think it was brand new. Because when you have such a unique art style, there's not so much comparison. I could maybe look at the particles in Anakin's hair. I could maybe criticize the voice acting if it was really, really bad voice actors. But no, this feels like a brand new thing, which is really a great idea.
I hate to have to break in a new Padawan.
The weird thing about the trailers and the information I have seen for episode 8 is that the actor who played Luke, Mark Hamill, like, he's an old man now, and he is absolutely...
I'm right behind you, Sky Guy.
They have like nicknames for each other.
Training. You should. Remind you I will. Alone, you never are.
So...
Double jump you can. Easy it is. Powerful is its use.
Yoda.
Be to heed my words.
Yoda is just giving
Jedi
me...
land surely on the narrowest of rails.
And so there's a checkpoint and I already fell. So you're supposed to walk here and potentially double jump. But actually, this is all scripted in a way, so you just have to press A. And as a scene...
platforms are easy for a Jedi. Just jump and land you will.
Like, this would be a great scene. It's kind of a shame this... I never saw any of this in any Star Wars movie. So, it has a heavy lock on. All you have to do is really tap A and you're gonna land.
Quickly use the Force you can to push droids or other objects.
Now I would argue that wow, that's a nice powerful blast of Force energy, which I think probably all Star Wars games should and
focus the Force for
most will
release a more powerful
give
blast.
more powers to Anakin and the other Jedis than you would normally have.
Nice one, Sky Guy.
So this is about as far as we got
company.
Good. You could do with some lightsaber
in my
exercises
testing.
now.
This is clearly one of those old school co-op games.
A lightsaber you have. Use it, you must, in these troubled times.
Now, one thing we'll want to see here is this going to be a collectible type place or type game.
Double jump to leap atop the super battle droid. Once on the droid you are, use your lightsaber. Control him now you will. Yes.
Interesting.
We need to blast those pillars, and those super battle droids are just the answer.
Fire the droid's guns you can. Direct your droid's aim. You must.
So we have to use the super battle droid to clear the path. Until he runs out of energy, and then we jump. And I think I fell and made a checkpoint there. The camera changed pretty drastically there, but so far so good. This feels like
Land on the stack and take it over you can.
land on this and press X. I think you have to double jump to jump on somebody, it seems. And your AI is not great because
Fire its weapons you can.
if it was better,
It is to dismount when you want. But look before you leap.
Woo! That was fun. What now, Master?
Time to put some of that training to good use.
so there's a little clunkiness of double jumping and getting to the place. This is what would kill a game like this, is if it barely makes a interesting beginning and then you start running into some clunkiness that just does not
From a
work.
higher place, perform a super jump attack you can. The higher you are, the harder you land. A super jump attack you can perform.
Yeah, I do not like this. I definitely don't like this. She just said tinnies. I thought I heard something very different in that line of dialogue. Thank goodness the subtitles are on. I also don't feel like it's
Good job.
it's worth the effort to
That's one big tinny.
Remember what Master Yoda says. Size doesn't matter.
When the foot becomes stuck, ready you must be. Use the force to hold its leg.
I had already kind of done it.
Take out the blaster cannon.
So you gotta jump, and then you've gotta jump up here, and then you've gotta
One
smash
down,
it.
2 to go.
I guess I did get a little bit further, because I recall doing this boss battle. So for our Padawan character, she seems childish, but like that kind of is what's supposed to be going on. Very unfluid controls. You know, a lot of old games, whether for kids or for adults, have this potential to be not suitable for children of modern days because there's just a lot of frustration and a lacking of explanation as far as what the game really wants you to do. And I got another hit on him, but I don't think I needed to.
You could have left a few for us, General.
Sorry, Rex. My young Padawan got carried away.
What the general means is he's getting slow in his old age.
So if Anakin is supposed to be
Okay,
slightly
Rex, get your
old
men ready to
here,
move out.
I
There's
mean, he
still
can't be
large pockets of
that
resistance in
old.
the city.
We'll try to
So
save a
this
few for you this time.
Padawan kid
Appreciated, sir.
must, like, let's say Anakin is 35. That's pretty generous in age. Ahsoka then at best is 20. And she doesn't feel like she's even that old. She feels like the equivalent of a 13-year-old. Which is still older than most Jedi Padawans when they first enter training. They basically train all of their life.
As a sign of good faith toward the Republic,
We have a cutscene
agrees to
here.
share information about Separatist smuggling activity in his territory with the Jedi. Rumors of war spread everywhere, and Obi-Wan Kenobi sets out for Naboo to
And
discuss
see, this
reports of
feels like
Jedi
this is
activity
cut
in the
directly
system
from the
with
cartoon.
Senator Padme Amidala. Meanwhile, Anakin Skywalker and his Padawan Ahsoka Tano take charge of the operation to rid the recently liberated.
Yeah, I don't know if I
remaining droid army
fully
presence.
appreciate the tube top on somebody that I just assumed was at best 20 and sounds more like a 13-year-old. But whatever, I guess. Different alien customs. I probably made this exact same
They lost.
observation
It's not in their
last
program
time.
to surrender. They'll fight to the last droid if it means taking a few more of us with them.
The Jedi should be on the front lines leading the charge, not mopping up the mindless junk the Separatists left behind.
War isn't about glory, young one. Jedi don't seek adventure, but it always seems to find them.
So this has to happen
All what's left of it.
between
Blasted
the
clingers
time
really left
of
anything standing.
episode
Get used to it, rookie.
2 and episode
This must have
3.
hit so hard.
The Separatists wanted to make an example of them.
So all this just to send a message?
It worked. Once word of this got out, the capital, LaSalle, surrendered without firing a shot.
And I guess that's the issue.
Says there could be as much as
Is
a full battalion.
you have to have a young Padawan to ask these questions so that the player can know what's going on also. Unless in case they haven't watched the cartoon.
Approaching the LZ now, General.
Prepare for landing. Captain Rex, report.
Our scouts haven't been able to reconnoiter the city yet, sir. The power's out to the hollow bridges in the outer sectors.
We'll fix that.
And scrap any tinnies we see along the way.
Watch yourself, General. Our patrols have been encountering stubborn resistance.
We'll be careful, won't we, Ahsoka?
Where's the fun in that?
Kids, got a point. See you at the rendezvous, sir.
Let's go, my young Padawan.
So they're going to probably not tell us as much tutorial messages going further. Collecting these points, like we could hit the back button or the pause button, like shop. Apparently we could buy hats and masks that would cost points. We can get combat upgrades, but I think they might all be too expensive. And ideally, I suppose you would want these later on. Like, I don't see any major upgrades that you'd want to get immediately. If this is like a Lego game, though, maybe there's a cheat here that would be helpful. Like, infinite ammo, extra damage for 20,000, continuously full combo bar, continuously full blast bar. Maybe if your combos bar is full, you get more points. Well, at least we know that's there. I've been seeing some screen tearing in this game.
With points, new masks you can acquire. To the shop you should go.
Okay. So we were just here. I was a step ahead. So I'm thinking it'd be nice if there was a way
Look at
to
this
improve.
place. There could be clankers everywhere. We'd never see them. Cut the chatter, shinies.
It's weird to have all these new terms that you've never heard before in your life. shinies, tinnies.
Up walls. Can a Jedi jump? Jump towards a wall and jump again. Time your jumps, you must. And reach the top, you will. The Jedi's path is never straight, but allow the Force to lead you. And easy it will be.
How do I jump down? Like, I'm hitting every button trying to jump down, and it's not working. So, wow. So it seems like you fall to your death now that the camera's moved, and it seems pretty impossible to reach this. And it seems like you don't die until you stop pushing the buttons. So one has to assume that it's not that important to collect all of these points. With the way the shop is set, I would suspect it isn't. Wow, I just jumped off the wall and bounced backward. That sure looks like somewhere you could go. So if I'm seeing screen tearing like I just did, that is a inconsistent resolution, frames per second. Well, probably not an inconsistent resolution.
Ahsoka. We're in enemy territory.
But an inconsistent number of frames per second, or a number that just cannot be done by my monitor. Almost certainly a simple patch, relatively speaking, simple patch could lock this game or tweak it to not going to too many frames. So either locking it to a solid 60, or in worst case scenario locking it to a solid 30 frames per second. VSync gets rid of the screen tearing a lot of times, but it also introduces other issues, and usually I don't run into that big of an issue with it, but I am seeing it a lot in this game. This is a LucasArts game, sort of. It says it's made at the beginning by LucasArts, and that's very exciting because I'm a big fan of the point-and-click LucasArts games. However, this would have been made years after point-and-click games were being made by LucasArts and not really by the real same team. So, oh, I'm supposed to be hitting this. I have to tap Y though to use the Force. There we go.
See? Easy done.
Not a big fan of tapping. There was recently a proposal for improving accessibility for video games, and particularly for kid games. I could see adopting a lot of those ideas and concepts to get rid of the need to tap, or the need to hold down a button, and instead just having something quicker and less time-based.
What are those things?
We don't have time to find out. Keep moving.
I assume that was an enemy. Nope, it's a floating platform. Interesting. A lot of scene changes here. But it does kind of feel like this is a game that these assets could have been made for the cartoon itself, like in the same program, probably Blender.
You will begin. Keep hold of the rail to continue swinging. Jump when swinging to dismount.
So Blender would be my guess on what you would use during the time this game came out. You potentially would be able to use...
Tread carefully, little one. The war hasn't left this building in great shape.
You worry too much, Master.
To use Unreal Engine or another game engine to animate in that directly. Or of course this could have been made and more likely than Blender, to be honest, this could have been made in Adobe Photoshop or Maya 3D. There's a lot of different softwares. But video games, animation, and TV animation are, even back in the day when this would have been made, they were starting to overlap in such a way that it could make sense.
Direction you can while swinging. Easy this is.
Alright, so this is platforming, this is swinging, this is what you would expect from a...
Stay focused, Ahsoka.
Ahsoka is a very Japanese sounding name, and this certainly does have a Japanese sort of feeling. It sort of feels like a Japanese anime style cartoon.
Here, we'll take care of them.
Poor dumb tinnies. I almost feel sorry for him.
And there was another instance in which we failed to collect all of the points. But the combo, she has like a 3 times combo, and she's doing it.
Onto its back, jump, aim, and charge the droid. You must.
Okay. That was not super intuitive. It needed an arrow to point the direction it was
Jump
going to
towards
fly.
left, and a lightsaber slide you will do. Easy it is. Yes.
Try to keep up, Master.
It's kind of funny. At this point, Anakin should have been
I'm
as...
gonna beat you this time, Sky Guy.
In your dreams, little one.
had, like, he would have taught him all of these things earlier. Seems like
You'll have to do better than that, Snips.
I'm just trying to make you feel better about yourself, Master.
I like this idea, although the Master's talk should have probably been fixed. Like, at the very beginning of the game and the cartoon, Ahsoka should have said, call them Master once, and he should have just said, call me Anakin.
About time you noticed.
Droid demolition. Destroy droids in any way you choose. Right bump to accept challenge. And I assume this would be a point giving challenge. Do I have a specific number of droids I need to kill, or is it just any number under a certain time? There we go. And so we activate that third generator. And I did not realize that that was going to start a cutscene.
We did it, Sky Guy. That wasn't so hard.
Yeah, I like the Sky Guy idea. And Snips. So they already have nicknames for each other and like each other. So why put the Master talk in there too?
We'll see some real action on this rock.
Or just have her be sarcastic every once in a while and go Master and roll her eyes. That'd be funny too.
Thank you, sir.
Shouldn't we go help them?
Patience. You have to trust in your troops' ability to assess their own situation. A few droids are nothing they can't handle.
Yeah.
If you say so, Master.
See? Like right there. Like the Master stuff, I don't think I'm going to be able to get over that at all. And we have R2-D2 jumping around. And it seems like they're giving points to each player. And I got gold and the computer got bronze. I am going to probably assume that there's nothing higher than gold. Now, definitely now that we've played for about 30 minutes, I have to wonder, how long is this game? It took us about 10 minutes to do this level. It potentially may only be a 2 or 3 hour game, maybe a 5-hour game if they can find some ways to give us some more challenges or try and convince us to play the game a second time. I'm not expecting this to be super long. It's a kid's game. It's working pretty good. I would still heavily recommend people play Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga instead, or at least first. The other thing there is I would recommend playing that on a console, not on PC, because those games sometimes don't run on PCs. Modern PCs can't, at least not my computer. But so far we haven't seen anything too offensive. If you let your kids watch the Clone Wars cartoon, I think you'd probably let them play this game. And I only have so far some slight issues with Ahsoka in the way she's been given the Master stuff. I mean, honestly, the Master stuff should have never been in the Star Wars movie series either. It's trying to take from Japanese samurai movies and that culture, which is directly where the creator of Star Wars, George Lucas, was taking those ideas from, and he should have given it a different name. Like Jedi could have meant Master, could have meant expert, but just not using what is a slightly loaded word that, in my mind at least, brings the idea of slavery into my head, which doesn't sound very good when you remember there actually is slavery in the Star Wars universe. Princess Leia being captured by Jabba the Hutt, remember that. That's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. We're doing something different now. If you want to support my channel, I ask you to gift me either a game or a gift card on Steam. Friend me on Steam so you can do that. That ranges from a game on my wishlist that's as low as maybe 50 cents on sale to as high as the ultimate collection of a AAA title that came out just yesterday. You don't have to get something that is directly on the wish list if you want me to cover something that I don't have there, but that leaves you to if you look at the wish list, or just the minimum amount to send a gift card is $5. The maximum is $50, and then you don't have to make a decision at all. In that case, that is the new way I'm running my channel, instead of trying to run ads that never really got me anywhere and annoying people. That's it for this recording. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.